I'm feeling musical.
Oh no. Please no.
Come on, just try a little bit with me.
I will do it, but if I do, no singing for the rest of the episode.
Fine, I'll do it. No. It goes like this. We drop science.
We got the mathematics.
The architects of rebirth are rap addicts.
You'll beat the foot, but it won't go well.
When you catch an Italian boot to the half shell. Hell yeah.
Okay. That was pretty good.
So, more singing throughout the episode?
No. Julie, we need to tell the peeps what's in the actual episode.
What?
Without song.
Okay, so today's episode, A$AP Rocky, Bruno Mars.
Okay, come on, Julie. We have a Bruno Mars segment, folks. It's about the new music. This whole episode is, really.
You know, I am excited for my Gorillaz segment. I sat down and listened to it for like 18 hours.
There's no way that album is 18 hours. Besides that, save it for the segment.
Fine. Okay, we have a segment on the One Direction peeps and their music.
Chris's mom has defeated the Ender Dragon, and we put a wrap on today's episode talking about Noah Kahan. So let's get right into it.
If you're a rap fan, you might know that A$AP Rocky released his fourth studio album, Don't Be Dumb, on January 16, 2026. And in the real deal spirit, I'm here to review it. Many critics have noted that this album has more of a bass-heavy and experimental vibe compared to his other albums. And after thoroughly listening to all 18 tracks, I would agree. I won't say too much, but I will say that before listening to the album, I listened to his songs I Smoked Away and Good For You. They are bomb, and I will 100% be putting these on my Spotify Gym playlist. Granted, these are his two most popular songs, but regardless, they're pretty solid. Then I listened to Don't Be Dumb, and I can't say that I'm in love with this thing. A$AP Rocky is a pretty solid singer, and his musicality is strong to say the least, but I can't say that it was peak. My main issue about the style of this album is how a majority of the songs start with a completely different vibe than they end off with. Take Helicopter, for example. This song has a mellow yet danceable beat to it. There's a great bass that I found fun and energetic without it seeming too strong. Then the song ends and the once mellow beat suddenly picks up speed, and I forget whether I'm listening to the upcoming song or this one. I also didn't care for Robbery, which featured the anxiety queen herself, Doechii, but for different reasons. Call me crazy, but I wasn't, crazy for the jazz beats. I like the experimental vibe A$AP was going for, however, I didn't care for the soft mellow beats that this song gave, and I kind of found this song to be a little bit boring. I will say that Punk Rocky is perhaps my favorite song on this album. It uses punk rock elements, and A$AP also blends alternative hip-hop beats to the rock sound, while still keeping the spoken rap verses. This is a song that shows how experimental A$AP is with the rap genre. I also thought it was cool how many featured artists on this album had. Not only did A$AP collab with Doechii, but also created music with Gorillaz, will.i.am, Jessica Pratt, Tyler the Creator, and Black DeMarco. I mean, Tyler is there because it's not really a shock since he and A$AP are basically besties. But yeah, tons of artists. Even though this album wasn't my favorite to listen to, I appreciate how A$AP redefines and reshapes the rap genre through experimental audio mixing. He doesn't just stick with traditional trap beats, and electronic rhythm, but also blends the fast-paced spoken rap verses with hip-hop, pop, jazz, and even punk rock beats to prove that rap isn't grounded to one type of sound. Overall, I'd rate Don't Be Dumb a 7 out of 10. If you enjoy an album with pace swifts and experimental audio, or if you like a variety of different genres, this is an album for you. That's all I have today. Bye!
Did she just call me dumb?
Are you being intentionally dense?
Duh!
That's the album. Speaking of that album, I thought it was meh. 6 out of 10 is me being generous.
Oh, I didn't listen to it. I was too busy climbing a mountain.
I know you were. But didn't you hear? Gorillaz was featured in this album.
Word?
What were you doing while the segment was being filmed?
Playing games on my phone.
Okay, yeah, me too. But that sounds incredibly unprofessional. So I'm going to professionally transition
Proud of you.
to the next segment about Bruno Mars.
Sup, my dudes, or should I say, my Mars bars? Yeah, I just made that up. Pretty sweet, right? Well, today, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Bruno Mars and his new album, The Romantic. Bruno's music was the soundtrack of many of our childhoods, so now that he's back, I couldn't be happier. Bruno has been releasing music for 14 years now, with hits such as Just the Way You Are, Locked Out of Heaven, and of course, 24 Karat Magic. He hasn't released solo music in almost 10 years until his new album, The Romantic, dropped on February 27th of this year. But although he didn't release any solo music during this time, he still stayed pretty relevant in the music scene. He had the album and duo called Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak, and many different collab singles that hit the top of the charts, like Die With a Smile with Lady Gaga and APT with Rosie. Well, now that it's finally here, let's talk about the album. First of all, this man is down bad. There is no question why this album is called The Romantic. The Romantic is a perfect mix of all of Bruno's past music with new elements and influences mixed in. You can see the ballad, but still groovy elements of his earlier work, with the funkiness of 24 Karat Magic, and the instrumentals of the Silk Sonic era. The single I Just Might was released in early January and was proof that my man Bruno is back and better than ever. The song has an upbeat and groovy sound with classic Bruno catchy lyrics. This song and many of the other songs coming out earlier this year show that dance pop is back, and I am so here for it. I really enjoy this album from track to track. With 9 tracks, incredible vocals, and fantastic production, some of my personal favorites are I Just Might, God Was Showing Off, and Nothing Left. One of my favorite parts of this album is the production and sound of the songs. From funky Motown sounds, to mariachi horns, to guitar riffs, and romantic strings, this album doesn't mess around with this musical sound. My other favorite part of this album is the vocals. When it comes to Bruno Mars' vocals, he always sings his pants off. He belts, he harmonizes, and hits each note with perfection in this album. His singing is nothing left, and literally was heavenly. Bruno is also going on the Romantic Tour this year, and guys, guess what? I get to go September 9th, baby. I'm going to be cha-chaing, and my booty is going to be finding that beat. Well, that's all I have to say. So make sure, if you haven't listened to The Romantic, definitely check it out, because you won't regret it. Back to our house.
Playing games on your phone again for this one?
Nah, I listened. I like the man we don't silencio for, Bruno.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I slept on this album because I haven't listened to it, but I do love some of his older stuff. And his features? Is Bruno Mars an unsung GOAT?
Maybe, or maybe it's just nostalgia. Who knows? What I do know is what comes next is gonna be a banger.
Okay, you can finally talk about Gorillaz.
Yep. Hey, yeah, it's that person you're probably just an teensy bit tired of seeing. Little known fact about me is that I'm a big fan of Gorillaz. Their attitude and tenacity really brings a smile to my big gorilla-loving face. The way they pound their chest and get really pissed off if you do it back. Ah, so much personality. Well, we're talking about just a bit of a different Gorillaz today, and these folks, oh boy, do they climb mountains with their music. That's right, we're talking about the guys who made that Windmill song that is likely still being played on your town's greatest hits radio station. You know, the one that always brags about having today's best music, and it's usually just not true. Anyhow, Gorillaz released a new album titled The Mountain. The album contains themes of grief and spiritualism. It was heavily influenced by the deaths of both creators' fathers, which occurred right before their trip to India, where the album was recorded. That, blended with influences from various aspects of Indian cultures, led to the creation of this album. I must say, this is fantastic. I gave it a full listen, and call me basic, but my absolute favorite is Orange County. It's a really sentimental piece about losing a parent and the pressures of carrying on their legacy after their passing. The album also came with a tremendous animation featuring the band's iconic characters. You know, I joke a lot on this show, but this album has really invigorated my love and hopes for the perseverance of art in a time where it's being uncut by profit and motivations and AI and all of that. This album is fantastic, and I highly recommend listening and watching the thing. All right, I gotta go. I'm waiting for my pointing at some guy to show me what's in his bag from behind my enclosure time.
Were you watching into the control room at all while that was being shot?
Nar?
I think you struck a tune with Chris. He was jamming back there. I think he was listening to the album.
That's probably why he asked me to write that segment. He's a big fan of those animated goobers.
What do you think his favorite song of theirs is?
Dog, I'm not as big a fan of him. I know the new album and like Feel Good Inc., and that's it.
You literally said you were a big fan in the segment.
Oh shoot, we can't break continuity. I think Chris likes So Guy from the Now Now album.
Did you know that this whole time?
I couldn't break continuity.
You already said that. Woof. This script, okay. I'm gonna say he likes the song 19-2000 the most. He definitely likes the older stuff more.
And we're being told by the teleprompter now that Chris's favorite song is Oil from the Cracker Island album. Dang, we got that wrong.
Well, at least we can move on. Up next, have they all gone in separate directions? Liam has the word on what all the members of One Direction have been up to.
One Direction is back. Well, sort of. Former members Louis Tomlinson and Harry Styles just released their new albums. Zayn Malik released a single and has an album on the way in April. Niall Horan just also announced that he has a new album complete, and he is releasing a single on March 20th. Just a few weeks ago, he did a collab with Miles Smith. There is one member who we will not be getting music from. Rest in peace, Liam Payne. We all loved your song about stripping that down. Louis wrote a song called Dark to Light, getting the title of the song from a tattoo that his unalived friend and former bandmate had across his chest. I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have cried the first time I listened to it. Meanwhile, Harry Styles is singing about supposedly knowing what I like in a new song, Clara's Song, where the lyrics explicitly state, I know what you like 24 times. Zayn is begging people to say they die for him in his new single, Die For Me. Personally, I find it both a little strange, but you do you, I guess. Niall, on the other hand, has been causing absolute chaos. Just a few weeks ago, we were excited about him being featured in some random single, and then out of nowhere, he made a post saying he had a completed album. Now the man's been sharing clips of his new single, Dinner Party, saying that those words became the nucleus for the rest of his record. The band has been apart for 10 years, and their record label boss, the devil himself, has been determined to create a new band. Yep, that's right. Simon Cowell put a boy band together in a Netflix documentary. If that's not embarrassing enough, they call themselves December 10th, whatever the hell that means. From what I've heard about them, actually no one's been keeping tabs about them. Wait, D10, 1D. Anyway, we all know there's only one 1D. One Direction was incredible together, and nothing's been able to drag them down since they went in 5 different directions. And no, I'm pretty hyped up about all of this, and the rest of the world seems to be too.
I'm still hung up on that stupid pun you made on your last line.
Yeah, on behalf of our writing team, I'd like to apologize to the audience and the editors for that one.
There's also no way that Liam is a One Direction fan. He did not write that script.
Yeah, probably not. But I am happy that we've managed such a wide variety in today's episode. I feel like we covered most of the bases in the music industry.
But we haven't talked about that honky-tonk music yet.
Country?
Yes, lucky for us, we have a segment on Noah Kahan next. Ain't that just swell, feller?
Real dealers, I have the opportunity to talk about the King of Vermont, the captivator of our indie folk hearts, known as Folk Malone, Noah Kahan. Recently, he released a new single titled The Great Divide, and man oh my, it is sure amazing to hear his emotionally tormenting music once again. For a lot of his true fans, this is not the only time that they've heard of this song, as he has played it in unreleased countless times on his 6-season tour as a gift to the fans. Personally, the song has resonated with me on a spiritual level, with the lyrics carefully outlining the hurt that a failed relationship can bring, and the pain that's left in their absence. Not only does it pull deeply from nostalgic feelings, it also introduces something worse, religious trauma. Not only did he drop this song back on February 1st, but he also announced that his entire album featuring the single would drop April 24th of this year. For anyone who has not heard of Noah Kahan, let me mansplain this part out to you. This is a big deal. Noah Kahan took the world by storm with his previous album, 6th Season, released in 2022. Since then, besides touring, Kahan has slowly acquired features on his songs like The Infinity Gauntlet. Some of his more notable guests include Post Malone, Gregory Alan Isakov, and Wesley Schultz. What I'm trying to say here is that this album has been in the works for years to this point, and he has easily captivated the hearts of many. Everyone is thoroughly enjoying his new single while also struck with anticipation, waiting for the rest of his album to come out. In closing, remember to load up on tissues April 23rd, because when his new album, The Great Divide, releases, I guarantee that there won't be a dry eye in the house.
I wish we could talk about only music every week.
I don't.
Do you always have to be so damn negative?
I just read the teleprompter.
Do you seriously hate talking about music, or do you just like disagreeing with me? I get it, though. It's easy to write contradicting characters so that there's more opportunity for funny haha dialogue.
I feel like we agree on a lot of things. I like music. I just think that there are more things we could talk about together, other than music.
Okay.
All right, well, that was intense, and I am tired, plumb tired. So I'll catch everyone next week on The Real Deal.
And me too. If you enjoyed these episodes, make sure to follow us on social media. As always, I am Julie Heinrich, and this is Apollo Collins. Bye-bye now.